What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Freed channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about something that I believe is absolutely vital to anybody and everybody who is looking at trucking as a long-term career. If you're somebody who is already in trucking, but you're new to trucking, and you don't actually know where you want to go with this career. You don't know where you want to go. You're at a starter company, you're somewhere where you're not making a whole lot of money, but you're getting your experience, you're getting your training. You don't really know the route you want to take. This video is for you. If you're somebody who's been in trucking for multiple years, you're somebody that's been in trucking longer than me. I've only been truck driving for a little over 4 years. I believe that what I'm about to talk about in this video is going to apply to everybody in the trucking industry. I really believe that. So make sure you stay tuned till the end of the video. If you've never clicked on any of my videos before, make sure you check out more of my other videos at the end of this one. I make trucking content, I make finance content, I make content about a lot of different things. And so if you're new, again, like the video, sub to the channel, and follow me on Instagram. The link to that is in the description below. So why am I making a video about what I'm about to talk about? Well, because I have been trucking for 4 years, as I just said, a little over 4 years now. And for the first 3.5 years of my trucking career, I was at Millis Transfer. They're a trucking company out of Wisconsin. They have roughly around 900 trucks. And I went through their trucking school, and I stayed with the company after going through the trucking school. I stayed with the company for about 3.5 years. Well, I decided to leave Millis and come to Crete. I did not leave Millis because I thought they were a bad company. I left Millis to come to Crete because Crete offered things that Millis did not offer for me personally. But I still would recommend both companies. I think they're both great in their own ways. I think they're both great. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I have learned something over the last 4.5 years about a lot of truck drivers, just people in general, and the way they think. And I'm going to talk about this because ever since I started talking about the companies I've been at, like I made videos on YouTube and never talked about the company I was at before, when I was at Millis. I did videos for about like 5 or 6 months consistently where I never talked about the company I was at when I was at Millis. I didn't start talking about being at Millis Transfer until I started training. That's when I started to talk about Millis, and my channel really did start to take off when I did that. And the reason that is because when you talk about companies, there's a lot of people looking at getting into trucking. There's a lot of people looking at different companies to work for. And so it really did help my channel grow to start talking about Millis. And also, when I left Millis, I started talking about Crete. And Crete is a much larger company than Millis. They have like 5,700 drivers at Crete. They're just they're a mega carrier compared to Millis, who is more of they're still a large company, but they're more of a mid-sized company when you compare them to the mega carriers that are out there. But both of them great companies, like I said. But the point I'm making in this video is that no matter where you work, I've only worked for 2 companies. I'm not somebody who job hops. I'm not somebody who likes to change things up all the time, because I really believe that is damaging to your career. It's damaging to your finances. It's good to do something and stick with it for a long period of time. I don't believe in changing what you're doing unless that change means there's a better opportunity for you to go to. And that's going to lead me to this point that I'm going to make in the video. That's going to lead me to it. So what is the point? Well, ever since I started talking about Millis, and when I went to Crete, ever since I started talking about Crete, 90% of the comments I've gotten about both companies have been positive. 90%. So I want to be very clear up front about that. With Crete, I would say, 90% as well. So Millis and Crete, 90%. Positive comments. But there's a very loud minority, a very loud 10%. And it honestly is not just with Crete and Millis talking about the company I'm at. It's also with talking about the positive aspects of the trucking business. And if you're new, again, I talk a lot about how to make trucking worth it as a career, as a long-term career. How to make trucking worth it. If you've never seen any of my videos, go back, click one of the videos that pops up at the end of this one and start watching my videos, because you will see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to make a point that I make a lot in other videos, but the reason I'm making this is because I have read so many negative comments about Crete, about Millis, over the past year, really. And it's just gotten to the point where, and look, I'm not mad, I'm not upset at anybody, I'm not depressed or anything like that. But what it is I'm going to address the people who have a problem with everything. They have a problem with everything. See, I knew once I started talking about Crete, I knew that people would go to the company because they watched my videos. I knew that would happen. I knew people would go to Millis because they watched my videos. And I also knew that, hey, even though they're going to that company and they watch your videos, that doesn't mean all of them it's going to work out for them. I know that it's not going to work out for all people who go to the companies I talk about. It's not going to work out for all the people who watch other YouTubers who talk about being an owner-operator or talk about some other trucking company that they're at. It's not going to always work out for you, anybody watching this video or anybody watching any other trucking YouTuber out there. The reason is because you may lack the mindset of a long-term vision, a long-term approach to doing this career, working at any company. You may lack the willingness to make sacrifice. There's a lot of things you don't want to do. You don't want to do OTR. You don't want to run the West. You don't want to run the Northeast. You don't want to run. You don't want to do anything. You just want every day to be rainbows and sunshine and unicorns flying in the sky. Those are most of the people that comment negative things on my channel. They do. And comment negative things about the companies I've been at. And they do that to other YouTubers as well. And to all of you who are watching my videos about Crete, about Millis, about trucking in general, just understand that this is not going to be easy. This business is not easy. It's not at all. This is a hard career. It is going to be very hard to go from not knowing anything about driving to going through trucking school, getting your CDL, getting trained by somebody that you don't know for 6 to 8 weeks at a time, getting into your own truck and doing this job by yourself in rain, sleet, snow, mountains, big cities. There's a lot of things you're going to learn in that first year. There's going to be a lot of times where you want to quit. There's going to be a lot of times where you want to quit. And most people, before 1 year is up in their trucking career, the first year, most people do quit before that first year is over. They do. Why? Because they don't understand that trucking is not driving from point A to point B. There's also a strategy as well. It's not just the demanding aspects of the job that make it hard, but it's also, being away from home, being away from family, friend, being away from the work-life balance. That's what it is. That's what really eats at people, because they want to make a lot of money, but they don't want to do what it takes to make a lot of money. And I'm sorry, in trucking, there is no such thing as be home all the time and make a lot of money. And I really don't know any business where you can only work 40 hours a week and make a lot of money and actually build wealth and get ahead. In trucking, you can, and I'm mentioning the negative things. I'm mentioning the things that people always complain about. They always complain about, oh, the company doesn't have freight. Oh, the company, they're trying to run me up in the Northeast, the Northwest, the Southeast, the Southwest. All the different things. Look, if you don't want to run, you're not going to make money. If you want to make money in trucking, you have to run the road. It's truck driving. That's what it is. You are driving a truck to make money. Okay? Crete pays very well. For a mega carrier, they're one of the top paying larger companies out there. They're a great company because not only do they pay a good rate, But they have all different divisions. They have dedicated, OTR, regional, local. They have it all. But they have a bunch of contracts. Most of their freight is drop and hook. I would say 80 to 90% if you're over the road. Reefer, dry van, flatbed. They have it all. And you can make as much money as you want to make within reason, because you make your rate, right? But if you hustle, you can make six figures at Crete. The key phrase is if you hustle, if you work hard, if you don't complain to your asset manager or dispatcher, if you communicate well with your asset manager or dispatcher, if you are unafraid to do hard loads, right? Oh, this load's going to New Jersey. I don't go to New Jersey. I don't want to go there. Well, dude, little did you know that if you went to New Jersey, yeah, it may be annoying getting around Philadelphia, getting around Baltimore, whatever. It may be annoying. Yes, that does suck. I'm not saying it doesn't. But little did you know that load getting you to New Jersey sets you up for a load all the way to California. 2,900 miles, I think it is. Somewhere around there. It's a long load. But you didn't want to go there. So what did they do? Oh, well, we don't have any other loads, man. Dispatchers at every company, and I know this for a fact because at Millis, I actually knew the people in the office. I knew them. I got to know them. And I got to know my dispatcher personally very well. I was there for 3.5 years. And I know for a fact what dispatchers don't like and what they do like. And they like runners who don't complain. They like truck drivers who are willing to do the loads that other drivers don't want to do. In other words, your dispatcher, and I'm speaking for company drivers, because I'm a company driver. And the majority of truck drivers are company drivers. The majority of new truck drivers are going to be company drivers for a while. If you want to make good miles and good money, consistent money every week, dude, you're going to have to run. You're going to have to not complain. That's what's going to have to happen. Okay? For a lot of people, this business is not for them. So to all of you who have a problem with Crete, it's not Crete, man. Your complaints are just trucking in general. This job isn't for you. This job isn't for you. Okay? That's really what I think about all the people who complain all the time. And I know the majority of people that watch me, they don't complain. So I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to anybody who is thinking about trucking as a long-term career. If you want to make this business worth it, be ready to work. Be ready to sacrifice. Be ready to do whatever it takes to get to the income level you want to get to. If you want to make six figures in trucking, you can make six figures. You don't even have to buy a truck to make six figures. But if you want to make more than six figures, you could go the business route. You can go the business route. You can. There's so many aspects of trucking, man. This business has endless opportunities. They have dry van, reefer, flatbed, oil field, step deck, oversized load. Man, they have it all. They have it all. You can do whatever you want to do in this industry. The sky is the limit in truck. This is a $1 trillion industry. There's so much opportunity. There is. But you're going to have to work for it. You know why? Because at your company and in this industry, there are millions of other people competing at the same time, trying to achieve great things in this industry. And what you have to do to be successful is try to be in the top 10% hardest workers in whatever industry you're in whatever company you're at. Crete advertises, hey, the top 50% drivers, OTR, make $100 and something thousand a year. What did they say? The top 50%, half of the drivers. If you're in the bottom 50%, you're not making $100,000 a year. And the reason you're not is because you're not hitting all the bonuses you're supposed to hit. You're not running the right way. You're not doing what you got to do. You got to learn to manage your time. You got to be willing to run loads that are going to be tough and tight. And you've got to be a good communicator and a hard worker and somebody who's just not going to complain all the time. That's pretty much moral of the story. Complaining all the time annoys your dispatcher. It does. It annoys them. So how do you make trucking worth it? You get in your first year, get your experience, and focus on getting good at driving this truck. That's all that really matters. You'll make decent money, but your first year, this is my opinion, get in, get your license, get trained, and get good at driving this truck. Hit nothing in your first year. Get no tickets at all. And then you'll be set up to go out and make six figures after 1 year. You will. But the work doesn't stop after you get good at what you're doing. The work continues on throughout your entire career. But once you get to the real money, where you're able to make six figures or more in trucking, which you can, then you can start worrying about, hey, maybe I can get out of debt. Like I always talk about this, guys. Get out of debt, build an emergency fund, and start saving up money so that you can invest your money. It's that simple. And invest your money consistently throughout your entire trucking career until you reach whatever goal you're trying to reach. That's how you make trucking worth it. But if every day you get up, you're just complaining and complaining and complaining, and nothing is going right. It didn't go right at your last company. It didn't go right at the company before that. Look, man, it's not always the company's fault. It's not always the trucking industry's fault. Most of the time, most complaints I get, and I know other YouTubers get these complaints as well, most complaints are that person's fault, really. Most of them are. And if people want to be mad at me for that, that's totally fine. I really don't care if you're mad, because the truth hurts. The truth hurts. And I'm going to end with this. And if you've stayed this far in the video, I really appreciate it. But before I got into trucking, I learned my lesson about blaming everybody else for everything in my life that was going wrong. I was in a great position before I got into trucking. I was in a different industry, working for self-made multimillionaires who were willing to teach me whatever I needed to know about how to start and run a business and become highly successful. I did learn a ton for working with them, but I did not stick with it long enough to make it worth it. The reason I didn't do that is because I got impatient. I didn't want to pay my dues like I had to get to the level I could have gotten to in the prior industry I was in. I was doing good there, but I didn't go all the way. I didn't get all the way to where I should have gone. And instead of blaming my bosses that I work for, instead of blaming the industry that I was in before, I look back at that and I say, no, it was my fault it didn't work out. I didn't want to work hard enough. I didn't want to study hard enough. I didn't want to do what it took. I wanted the success, but I didn't want to pay my dues, pay the price, the real price, each and every single day, the grind. I didn't want to do that then. That was the problem. It wasn't them that was the problem. It wasn't the industry that was the problem. It was me that was the problem. And trucking is no different than any other field out there. If you want to be successful in anything, trucking, going into law, becoming an accountant, becoming a doctor, becoming a business owner, whatever it is you want to do, it's going to be very hard to do it. You know why? Because there's millions of other people out there that want to do the exact same thing you want to do, and there's a lot of other people out there that are willing to work way harder than you. That's the fact. So I'm going to end with this again. I'm going to end. If you're looking at trucking as a long-term career, just understand this business is going to be very tough, but there's going to be great days as well. If you enjoy traveling, if you enjoy making good money, if you like working, if you want to set yourself up and your family up for generations, make sure you check out all my other videos that I talk about saving money, investing. Make sure you go check those out. And you can do that in trucking. You can do that in trucking. You can set yourself up for generations. I'm serious. You can become a multimillionaire by just being a truck driver. You can. You can. I truly believe that. Actually, I know you can do that. I know you can do that because of the kind of money you can make in trucking and how low you can keep your expenses by being a truck driver. And there's so many different options too besides driving a truck. You could go into a different aspect of the industry. You could start your own fleet. You could become a broker. Whatever it is, there's so many different opportunities in this industry, but you're going to have to pay the price. You're going to have to hustle and grind and not complain to become successful in this industry. So that's it for the day, for this video for today. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all for watching this channel. God bless. Thank you for watching. Make sure you stay tuned for the next video, and peace out.